So we have a plan, because we have an annual demand of 250,000 houses a year. Unfortunately, we are only able to produce 50,000 every year. That is our number from research, and there is a very nice report that I would like all of you to pick. It is available on the website of World Bank. It's called Unavailable and Unaffordable. It was a 2017-2018 release about the housing status in Kenya. So we are doing 50,000 when we're supposed to be doing 250, meaning that every year we are creating a deficit of 200,000. But even that 50,000, there is a story. Out of that 50,000, 49,000 goes to the rich people, you and I, plus those who can be able to walk into a bank and get a loan. And that is only 3% of the entire population. Meaning that 1,000 units are left for 97% of the entire country. As Kenya Kwanza government, we have a plan to do 200,000 houses a year. Now, when I say 200,000 a year, it's impossible to start and finish 200,000 in 1 year, okay? Because these are big estates. But at the very least, we are going to get 200,000 houses. Construction has started. So about in 3 years' time, now we can start counting how many of them are completed. It's right that we are accommodating criminals in the most prime area, because our prisons sit on the most prime area. Is it true or false? Committee is very, in your constituency, Honorable Chair, that's very prime area. We have 4 prisons in Nairobi, industrial area. We have both Langata men and women, and we have Nairobi West. You go to every major town, Shimolatewa, Thika town, Roiro, the prisons are inside. Kilifi. Nakuru. And you know, they sit on a lot of land. In Kitale, it is basically a glut, because that town cannot grow as long as that prison is there. So, and we have not built a prison since independence. So I think, honorable members, it is high time we start building prisons and we move criminals far away from the urban areas. And I'm not saying that in any derogatory way, but we need to free up these areas so that we can be able to do human settlement activities. Can you imagine how much land is occupied by all these ASK showgrounds for an event that we only have once a year for 3 or 4 days? Isn't it time to have a serious conversation? If it's a trade fair, we can take it far away. We don't need to have Jamhuri showground in Jamhuri Park. You have the biggest slum. We can take that land and redevelop it, and free up that land and redevelop it. In this country, the reason why the values of land are going up, it's not because there's anything special we're doing. It's because people are holding land. Let's do the Malaysia way. If you're holding land, after a period of time, we start taxing you on what is called idle land tax. So instead of taxing payroll, VAT, so much, let's go tax those people who are holding land and they're not using it. And when we want to buy it, we have to pay a premium to use it. Sounds radical, but that's how progressive nations have addressed it. Cost of construction. Cost of construction in Kenya is prohibitively very high. Okay, of course, there are many taxes. There is just many, we have, I think the building code is changing now, but we have a building code which was 1940s, which only recognizes stone as the only permanent building material. That's why we must encourage new technologies. Now, more counties have given us land, and those are the ones, 9. If you kindly request your governors to send as much of this so that when we advertise, we can be able to make sure we have housing in every county. Those are the 9 that have given us pretty nice land, and we're going to be advertising. That's going to give us another 55,000. We are advertising in the next week or so.
For sure, they have brought us to speed of what we need to do. They have so many proposals. And in these proposals, they are being governed by some laws that were passed in 1960s, 1970s, 1980s. And you know, we even have a constitution that we passed in 2010. And some of those laws do not go in line with the spirit of the constitution. So we have a lot of work to do as a Senate and of course the National Assembly to make sure that those laws are aligned to the policies that are made by the national executive, that is the presidency, to make sure that they work for the people. We are discussing on what should be done to make sure that these buildings that are collapsing left, right and center, and especially in Kiambu and Nairobi, what should be done. And we have tasked them to give us a report on what they are planning to do, because we cannot continue losing lives, and then when you ask them, they blame the contractor. After you blame the contractor, you blame the engineer. Then the engineer, when you ask the engineer, you blame the fundi. I mean, any building that collapses in any area, that engineer who was overseeing that project should have their license cancelled. I mean, as easy as that. So we have given them some time to give us a report on how they're going to curb that. But we also want to ask the counties to be vigilant. And of course, don't just dish out approvals just for the sake of it. Also, don't deny approvals so that you can make some money. Just do your work that you have been mandated by the people of your counties to do.
Lazima kuangaliwe juu ya vile tunaweza kuruhusu nyumba kujengwa bila kutumia ustadi wa kisawasawa ili tuweze kuokoa maisha ya Wakenya. And we are going to support you in this, that we should not allow any form of corruption of approvals for houses which are not qualified to be built without proper structures.
You'll get to know us better. There's the issue that has been brought up na mheshimiwa senator kuhusu manyumba ambayo yanaporomoka. We have two state corporation, tuko na hii National Construction Authority. We also have the National Construction Inspectorate. Na pia ni mwelezee senator kwamba when it comes to building plans, they are done by the county government. We have a very close working relationship with the county government so that the approvals they make should be in line with what the National Construction Authority demands. Kwa hivyo tutakuwa tukifanya kazi pamoja, and I can assure you, Senator, that one we will work together to make sure that lives are not lost.